Yo, what's up, everyone? What is going on? Let me turn on my Instagram live stream. That wasn't it. Boom. Here we go. What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? So, as you know, I'm doing live stream on YouTube, and I'm also doing live stream on the Instagram. So, I'm setting everything up now. I'm just waiting for everybody to get in here. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day, productive day, getting some stuff done. From Philly, everybody check in. Everybody check in. Check in. We're about to get started here. Make sure you guys listen. If you have not, what's up, Brandon? If you guys have not got onto my YouTube channel, I would watch it from there. You're more than welcome to watch it from Instagram. It's just a lot better over there on, let's see here. Cool. So everybody can see me. Jake, can everybody see me on YouTube? What's up, everybody? Mr. Hold Up, wait, I see you. Can I link the YouTube? You're just gonna have to search for me on YouTube, or you're gonna have to watch my last Instagram story and swipe up. I can't do it while I'm actually live, guys. So if you want to see it, all right, everybody's good. Let's just move into this and start going. One more minute, and then we're gonna get started. We're gonna first talk about how to generate leads without using that stinking mail, spending all that money on mail, and we're going to talk about how to get leads without using mail. Shout out to my guys in the big three, Mr. Sip and Mr. Sippy. The Big Sip and Mr. Sippy. We got some good things coming for you guys in the new year. Some real cool training programs. You're going to love it. All right, guys, let's get started because I'm only got 1 hour before I get kicked off. Here we go. Remember, if you're on Instagram, I would advise you using YouTube, but do as you please. We're going to use both. All right, so let's get started. Let's see here. All right, so we're going to talk about how to generate leads without sending mail. And here's why my company doesn't send mail and why you should think about using some alternatives besides sending mail. Okay, guys, so if you guys are not on YouTube, you need to watch YouTube because I got some slides up there. All right, so the cost of sending mail per piece can be anywhere from 43 cents, and that's if you're sending a big amount, all the way down to $1 or more a single mail piece, right? And one thing that really bothered me when I was sending mail in the beginning, when I started to send mail like everybody else, like I was taught, was that there's an average response rate of 1%, right? So the average response rate of 1% when it comes to mail. So with 1% response rate on anything, let's just say you got hired to do something. If you're only 1% efficient on it, it's something that I just can't live down, right? So the average response rate is 1%, and then you're gonna have to mail people 5 to 6 times before you get a lead, right? So that's the average, that's the national average. 5 to 6 times in order to get a person lead. So you need to take that 43 cents, so that $1, multiply it times 6, and you're going to spend about $6 in order to actually get somebody to call you back, but at a 1% response rate. So if you're sending 10,000 mail pieces at $1 a piece, you're spending $10,000 a month, and you need to mail that person 6 times, so you need to be up at $6,000 to get a 1% response rate on 10,000 mail pieces. You do the math. I don't want to do that. So, and then another reason why I don't like sending mail is, you see that mailbox to the right there on the slide? Everybody's sending mail. And that's what people's mailbox looks like. And if you think your different postcard with its yellow handwritten, all this stuff is going to stand out in that mailbox, you are fooled, because it will not be like that at all. So we're going to go over the places that I consider the best place to get leads without sending mail. All right. So number one that we're going to start off with is pretty obvious. Most people know about this. It is Bandit Signs, right? Bandit Signs are cheap and they work. That's right. Bandit Signs are dope. Okay. Bandit Signs, you can buy them on dirtcheatsigns.com. If you get the big ones like I get, double-sided, the whole 9 with the stakes, you're going to pay about $3 a piece, but it's worth it because you're going to get such an awesome response rate, and the phones are going to be ringing off the hook if you put out, right? And you got to be consistent. Our guys put out 100 Bandit Signs every week. We pay somebody $1.50 a sign to put out the signs, and that allows us to be consistent throughout the city so that we have a great presence over and over again. You need to check with the city ordinance to see if bandit signs are allowed in your area. Most places they are not, and if they're not, then there's strategies on how you need to address that in order to be efficient, right? So bandit signs work. We put them out, and I'm never going to stop putting out bandit signs unless they're going to charge me $1,000 per sign or something like that. But I've never had a problem. I've never been called. Another way that I like to generate leads without sending mail is Google Adwords, right? So Google Adwords work. You can hire someone to set this up for yourself, or you can learn. I learned how to set it up, so I saved myself $6,000. I generate a couple leads a week just from this. I have an average budget. I spend about $1,000 a month, and that will probably make me about PPC alone between $10,000 to $15,000 every month. I would say roughly 10. The market's going to determine your budget. I have a friend that's down in South Florida. He's spending around $63 a number per click, but also his deal sizes are much bigger than our $10,000 deal size in North Carolina. There's good leads. So when somebody clicks on your website and fills out your form, which we have a Carrot website, they're good leads. They're people that are going to be wanting your services, but you need to act fast. So when that lead comes through, you need to jump on it, and in 5 minutes, you need to be the person that's boom, right on top of it, okay? And you need to know your numbers. You need to know your KPIs. You need to know how much leads it takes you to convert a deal. You need to know your average deal size, right? And with saying that, you need to know how much you're willing to spend on a lead in order to turn it into an actual property. So you need to know your actual numbers, your KPIs. KPIs are very important when it comes to doing this. The next tool, which is one of my favorites, is Facebook. And Facebook is important because we all pull a lot of data, these lists. We buy lists from ListSource, we pull data from the county. We have all these names and addresses of houses and people that own these houses. And what you can do is upload, and if you haven't watched that video I have on YouTube, I advise you to go watch that. But the list and the data you have is very crucial, and it's important to use the list and the data you have to generate leads. What you want to do is create a custom audience on Facebook, and you want to create an ad that's geared towards them. I got my ad and my video made on Fiverr for about $75. Then you want to create an ad copy directly to that list. And I know I'm kind of flying through this because usually today is just Q&A. So we're going to get to Q&A here in a few seconds. So make an ad copy that fits. So if you're uploading your tax delinquent list, make sure your ad copy says, hey, are you behind on taxes, or something similar to that. I spend roughly between $5 and $20 per day while I'm using Facebook, right? Now here's one of my big ones. Here's one of my ones that we're crushing it right now. So we're not sending mail. We're doing cold calling, right? It costs us pennies to make a phone call, right? We can call the same list you mail and everybody else mails. You're going to reach the person much faster. You're going to get a better response rate. Our response rate is 10% when it comes to cold calling. So if we're calling 800 numbers a day, we're going to reach about 80 people. Each cold call is going to reach about 80 people, okay? You're going to get the numbers from skip tracing, Cold Realty, and DataZap. I advise you guys to look that stuff up. Cold Realty and DataZap, and some other places you can do some skip tracing. Okay. You can also hire cold callers as long as you can train them. You can hire cold callers from the Philippines for about $4 to $5 an hour, which would eliminate you calling. They just need to follow your script, and then once the person is qualified, then you can hand them off to yourself. So cold calling is real big. It's huge in our business. It makes us about $20,000 or more a month, and that is what you need to be focusing on, is cold calling. We're pushing a lot of our efforts towards cold calling. Another one that my buddy Josh Gaiman has created, he's out in Arizona, very, very competitive market, is cold calling on steroids. Now look at this numbers. In the third quarter of 2017, Josh spent $2,244.69 on cold calling, not including his list building, and he generated $167,000 in assignment fees, right? His average cost per lead was $35. So you can imagine in one quarter, in a couple short months, making $167,000 profit. Josh is in Arizona, so he's in a very, very competitive market. And if you want to check out his program, you can go to coldcallingonsteroids.com. I didn't invent that. I know a little bit about it. I use it myself, but it's awesome. I can tell you it's very effective, and Brent in South Carolina can tell you it's very effective. I think he's picking up 4 or 5 appointments every week from doing that, right? So cold calling on steroids, go to coldcallingonsteroids.com, sign up for his free webinar. Josh is a real cool guy. He's part of a mastermind that I went to in Arizona not too long ago. Another one is door knocking, old-fashioned door-to-door. That shit still works. Knock on pre-foreclosures, tax delinquents, get comfortable being uncomfortable, and that's how you're going to make a lot of money in this business. Don't overlook the door knocking. It's really, really where you want to be. There's nothing to be ashamed of door knocking. Okay? And then there's some unconventional ways that we use to generate a lot of money that we don't spend money to do, is networking. Don't lose the power of networking. Networking is awesome. You want to, when somebody asks you how you're doing, you say, I'm doing well, I'm looking for more houses to buy. It's a real just simple conversation you can have that allows you to just boom, network. Right? Referrals. Every time you see somebody, tell them you're buying houses, put it on Facebook, social media. Every time you're at family functions, tell them what you're doing, so that when they think of your buying investment property, you're going to come top of mind to them. You're going to use mailmen. Mailmen walk and drive the routes. They visit every single house in the United States. So you better believe they know which houses and what neighborhoods are empty. Offer them $1,000 in referral fee for bringing you an empty house that you actually close on, right? And just create a simple business card with your information on there. Tell them they can text you. And once they text you the address, always follow up with your mail guys weekly to let them know the statuses of the leads you give them. Because if you don't follow up with them on the statuses of the leads, then they're going to jump out of there. Another cool thing is Uber drivers. My buddy Brent down in South Carolina, he's used this and closed many deals on it. Uber drivers are driving in neighborhoods, and they're looking for a way to pick up extra money. So what you can do is offer them $1,000 per closed deal. And that way, when they're driving and see an abandoned property, you snap a picture, give you an address, you do the rest, right? Because that's what we do. And then they got this new thing called Bluetooth marketing or proximity marketing. It's where you basically leave a beacon somewhere, and anybody with an Android phone that has their Bluetooth on, the message automatically comes to their phone. I personally haven't had much luck with it, but in a recent mastermind that I was in, somebody was praising how much luck they actually had. Okay? So those are some unconventional ways there. We're going to get to the Q&A here in the next 2 minutes. I just want to say, you guys, if you haven't already joined our Facebook group, it's the Wholesaling Elite and the Real Estate Roundup. Make sure you go find us on Facebook, the Wholesaling Houses Elite and Real Estate Roundup. We give away a lot of free information on there where you guys can just access a bunch of questions. There's some good guys. Yep, cold calling on steroids is serious. It's the real deal. Okay, so now we're going to get into the Q&A time for what we're doing. This is where you guys ask questions about anything you have questions on, right? So Tony Evans, thanks man for providing vital information. How many clicks and leads do you take to get per week? How many clicks / leads do you get per week? I don't know. I'd have to check, but it's a lot. Where could I find Philippine cold call workers? Go to onlinejobs.ph. Onlinejobs.ph. And hey guys, if you're in, let's see here. I'm trying to see how I can add somebody to my I don't know how I can do that. Can you not do that anymore? Add people to your, turn on request to go live. So I've just turned on my request to go live. So if you have a question and you're on Instagram, click my name, I guess, and you can request to go live with me and ask your question. Okay, Matt Walter says, okay, I have a few questions. How would you avoid ordinances when putting out bandit signs, and what are the strategies? All right, so this is pretty simple. What you want to do is, when you're putting out a bandit sign, you want to use a number that is not directly published anywhere on the web or printed anywhere else for you. So for example, you want to sign up for CallRail, get a number through CallRail and put that on the bandit sign, and that's the only place you use that bandit sign. That leads back to a company number, and when the call comes in, you know it's from a bandit sign. Just be careful what you say. I'm not endorsing you to do anything illegal, but there's a lot of things you can do to put out and avoid the ordinance. Says, how's it going, Max? What do you say to probate leads via cold calling? It's real simple. We call them all the same, so we don't really say anything different with them. You can acknowledge or not acknowledge the situation that they're in. Most of the time we don't, and because the death has been a while and the probate lead's ready to offload the property anyways. Thanks so much. Do you recommend list source for probate properties? No. If you're going to go into probate, you need to go to your local courthouse and find those leads yourself. They're going to be the freshest. You know they're going to be the best. Go to your courthouse, guys. If you want to have a leg up on your competition, understand how your courthouse operates. Know every room in there, ins and out. Get friendly with the ladies that work at the front desk, because they're going to be your best friends when it comes to finding some of the freshest leads possible in your county. Do you have any tips for finding motivated sellers on Facebook? Listen, if you're going to create an ad just to go after cold people on Facebook, I say you're going to have a pretty hard time. But if you do have a list of, say, tax delinquent, code violations, pre-foreclosures, insert that information into Facebook custom audience, and boom, you're going to be there. Hey guys, if you're on Instagram, I think you can click my name to go live with me. I think that's how it works. Let me see here. Hey Brent, see if you can go live with me, Brent. Try to click my name and request it, I guess. I'm not sure how that works. I haven't done it yet. All right, so more questions back on Facebook. Let's see what we got here. How do you build your buyers list? So Fane said, how do I build my buyers list? We go to courthouses, and we have people that watch people that bid live on property, and then we approach them and say, hey, listen, we can find properties like we have properties like you are already bidding on, much cheaper, and we can find them over and over again. So going to your courthouses or places that people are buying houses cash, it's just that's an easy way for us to do that. Let's see here. Mississippi's got to go fix his hair before he goes live. Uber driving has connected me to several. See, Erica says Uber driving has made her. Hey guys, if you have questions, all right, let me see. Stevie is live. Go live with Stevie. I guess he has a question. You guys are going to be able to see that. Waiting. This is the first time I'm going live with somebody else, so we're going to see how that works. So let's see here. He says, how can a follower of yours like me help you, Max? I'm more willing to fly out to be an assistant to learn on my own. Sent you a DM about this on Instagram last week. Hey, I think it's Jay. Jay, let me, Mr. Wong, let me go look into my DMs and see if I see something like that. And if I do, I'll respond to you. That's a good question. So he's adding value. He's going to try to add value to what I'm doing to learn. That's a Gary V move right there. Jay, we're going to be in touch, okay? Raphael, do you only cold call? I don't see your request, Mr. Sippy. Send it again. Stevie, hold 1 second. I'm waiting for Mississippi. I don't see it. Oh, I see it. Crap. I didn't know how this works. Sorry. Says it's waiting for you, Mississippi. All right, so went to the auction a while back. Would you recommend putting a bandit sign near houses? Anything that you think works, Matt, give it a shot. I haven't done it myself, but yeah, if you think those houses are up for auction and you know they're coming up on auction, that's a good thing. Put a bandit sign near those and see if that works. It says you're here. I don't see you. Says, once I find probate deals at the courthouse, how do I then market to them if I don't do mailers? So what you want to do is you want to find the... So basically he's asking, once I get the deal at the courthouse for probate, how do I market to them since I'm not going to mail them? What you're going to find out through the paperwork that you find is that you want to see who is actually in charge of the actual... who's in charge of the actual... probate of the person's kin, next to kin, cousin, brother, uncle, sister, spouse, or whatever, and then you're gonna reach out to them. You can skip trace them. In my county, they have the numbers of the person that's available. Do I do any co-wholesaling? Absolutely, I do co-wholesaling. That's part of our strategy. What's up, Eric? I know Eric's probably in Vermont right now, skiing it up. Hey, Max, do you cold call on Sundays? No, my guys are off. My guys are off. Let me see if I know if we can do this. Sorry, man. I'm trying to work on this. This is not it. This thing is put... It's got freaking... What the heck? I don't know how to do this. And now it's got freaking... I had dog face on. This is crazy. Instagram, fix your shit. Anyhow, guys, I'm going to keep reading questions. Everybody's laughing, huh? I see how y'all are. Alright guys, I'm going to go back to answering some questions. I'm on Facebook and trying to stream this session. Are you live on your page or business page? I'm live on Facebook. I'm live on Instagram YouTube. So I'm not sure if you're in this. Yeah, you need to go to YouTube. Is City Resource more accurate for property square feet than Zillow and Redfin? No, the City Resource is really not that accurate. I find actually Zillow and Redfin to be more accurate. When wholesaling, do you assignment close? What's the correct way to market the property since it's not actually legal? So it's not actually legal. Yes, I do assignments, and what you need to do is build your buyer's list first. You should market your property within your private network, saying that you have something for a deal. I don't know how this crap works. Question from Instagram says, what service do you use for skip tracing? We use multiple services. I advise you guys to use something like Data Zap, or we have TLO in office that we use. What list are you focusing on? There's several lists. We have a couple lists, but if I had to say tax delinquent probate, anybody that has a camera can request, I guess. I just don't know who's not working. Do you recommend driving for dollars? Hey, Derek Walker, check out my YouTube channel. Driving for dollars is one of my favorite things to do when I don't have anything to do. Can you rely on the city's estimate market? No, Erica, don't rely on the city's estimate for market value. They usually don't have a good one. What I would do is take Zillow, Redfin, and Realtor.com, combine those numbers together and divide them by 3. That way you just get an average. You need to be able to come close. Super Bowl is coming to Minneapolis, Minnesota. Anything you recommend in order to create leads? Hundreds of thousands of people are coming here. That's a good question. I don't know if the out-of-town people are going to be the right people to market to. I don't know if you can capitalize on that. Yeah, just request. Anybody that has a camera, just request. Do you use ListSource to find hot zip codes? You can, but I think the best way to find hot zip codes is to ask. All of these people, oh, I see it now. Let me see it. Let me try Adrian. I know he's got his shit together. Oh, this is BJ. Shit. I didn't mean to click BJ. This function for Instagram is terrible. So what you got to do is you need to ask other buyers in there. But Mr. Sippy, if he can join, he can tell you how to use ListSource to find hot zip codes, and he gets it for free. What are the taxes like on wholesale deals? I'm not new money. I'm not 100% sure. What are taxes like on? Rephrase that question, please. 2 more questions. How do I build buyers list with no property under contract? I would focus on getting something under contract at the same time you're building your buyers list. Buyers list is very important to being able to run this business. You need to understand what a wholesaling deal is. If you don't, somebody said ghost ads. Yeah, go on Craigslist, put ghost ads. Ghost ads just basically mean put a like-minded property that you've had in the past or something that you have now, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and put it at a great price with a picture from something on Craigslist or something like that, and people will start signing up. But you don't want to piss people off because you rub people the wrong way sometimes when you don't actually have any properties. I know nothing about Google AdWords. How much will you spend monthly, roughly, and what is it worth? So I spent about $1,000 a month on Google, and it probably makes anywhere from 10 to 15 grand a month. Mississippi, join me one more time. Says, so when will you guys share your secret vacant list? I will never share it. Not yet. Not yet. Alright guys, it says, how about Google Voice for putting number down on signs? Is it traceable? Yeah, don't use Google Voice. Use callrail.com. It's $30 a month. Yes, Data Zap with 2 P's, I believe. That's how you find it, Angela. I'm preparing a DM vacant absentee owner's handwriting this time. Common message, hi, I'm interested in buying your house. Hey, Lisa, don't mail. Pick up the phone and call them. Pick up the phone and call them. I promise you'll get better results. No, Matt, you don't have to create an LLC before starting. Not at all. I don't understand it. Mississippi, when you send a request and I click approve, then it just disappears after a while, so I'm not sure. It's for another time. Any other questions, guys? Let's keep the questions going on YouTube and on Instagram here. So I need to write down some notes and stuff that I need to do. Hey, what other videos do you guys want me to really work on for you guys? I'm pulling a blank sometimes. I'm pulling a blank sometimes on the videos that I should make for YouTube. Ruben says, I'm 16 years old and I'm starting to get into wholesale, and I was wondering if you'd be interested if I give you a call for any houses for rehab. Hey Ruben, if it's in my market, I will do it. If it's in my market, I will do it. Hey, so Fane, if the Zillow's saying one thing and Redfin's saying another, then go use the tax data. You want to see some videos of live cold calling? How you guys think about that? Live cold calling videos? I have a buddy that I forget his Instagram, but he does that every week. Maybe I need to share that. Negotiations. Hey, what kind of negotiations do you want to see, Stevie? So all types of negotiations that happen. Yeah, Big Sip is pretty good on negotiations. Any more questions, guys? So I just received 300 Bandit Signs, and I plan to put them out with staplers and custom mistakes bought in my particular area for places. I already have a Google number on my sign. Okay, so yeah, Derek Walker, put those Bandit Signs up. They have this tool on Amazon. Actually, let me see what it's called. There is a tool called the Sign Stapler. Search for that on Amazon, the Sign Stapler. And it's a pretty cool tool that allows you to put the Bandit sign way up in the sky. Can I wholesale tax lien properties I find in my core house, or do I have to pay the taxes and then try to find a buyer? No, you can do tax liens. Every house I usually sell, probably 50% of the houses have back taxes on them, and they just have to be paid at the time that it's closed on. Tax list properties are one of the biggest ones we sell each month. No, I don't track each Bandit sign. They don't have extension numbers. I just find extension numbers are more than people need to remember. Yeah, I just don't put extensions. Bandit signs are Bandit signs. What's the correct way to do assignment contracts that's legal? I would get with the closing attorney on that one. That Zap charges 3 cents. Very accurate. Pretty accurate. Do you wholesale properties throughout the U.S. or just in your city, and why? I'm not a virtual wholesaler, so my guys are there. So I just mainly do it in my area, Forsyth County, Winston-Salem. My buddy Alex Zapp came up with the sign stapler. Is that the sign stapler? Is that the one that's on Amazon? Tell him to send me one for free. I get him so many sales if he sends me one. It's easier for Theo Alexandra. It's easier for me to focus on one market that I'm in because I have control of it. So I need to understand. I need to be able to understand what's going on directly at the county. So I don't really do too many different cities just because I don't have a control over it. I'd rather be great at my city than just mediocre in a bunch of cities. Do you use stakes with your Bandit signs, or do you use staplers? So we use staplers, and then we use the metal stakes. And why do you use CallRail over Google Voice? CallRail gives me 30 numbers. Is it 30? I think it's 10 numbers for $30. No, I don't do any for rent lease option deals. What percentage should I use for wholesalers, seller finance properties to an investor? Tricky question. What's the correct way to market your contract, and what are the wrong ways? So some of the big wrong ways are just don't put them on YouTube. I mean, don't put them on Craigslist and say property for sale. You can do it that way, but I would work on getting a better buyer's list so that you can shoot out mail. We use MailChimp to send out mail blasts, and we use Call Loop to send out text messages with our properties listed on our own website that is managed by Carrot on Carrot.com. Do you do any virtual deals? No, I haven't done virtual deals. I've only done deals in two cities, Winston-Salem and Orlando, Florida. Says, what about the houses? Charles C. Whitaker says, what about the houses that are going up for auction? Do you go after those houses also? Absolutely. We just closed on one of those this week. It was a house that was going into tax foreclosure. I found the owners, gave them a lowball offer because they were going to lose it anyways. They accepted the offer. I had one of my buyers come in and pay cash, pay the back taxes. We stopped the foreclosure. Boom. We made like $23,000 on the deal. And, that's it. Norman says, I have a hot deal in Mabin, North Carolina. 5 minutes from the Tanger outlets. I had 6 buyers come out. What's your thoughts about earnest money deposit? I tell them it's 20% or $2,500. I usually do $2,500 earnest money deposit. Now, since you're new in the game, they're going to probably want to give it to your attorney, but all the earnest money deposits come to our account. What's your cash buyer site URL hosted by Carrot? Man, I don't want you guys flooding up my my website, because I track the statistics and all that stuff. But Jay, I will inbox you what my site is for my buyer side. What are the most common wholesale deals? Short sales? No. I have never done a short sale. Just people that are motivated to sell their property. How do you train your VAs to do each task? Through videos. I create YouTube videos. I already know how to do it, so it's not hard for me to train them. It's pretty simple. Hey, Jay Wong, send me a new DM just so you're at the top of my DM box right now, because there's probably 200 messages in my requested message box that I haven't been through yet. Where are you getting your cold callers from? They live in the Philippines. Yes, Mr. Sippy is using cold calling on steroids. He can tell you all about it. How do you determine how much profit goes back into your business? 15 to 20%. I got a few properties in North Carolina. You may want to take a look at them. What's the best way to personally get in touch with you? Hey, follow me on Instagram. DM me on Instagram if you got some properties. Make sure in the Triad area, because I don't really reach outside the Triad area. Winston-Salem, Greensboro, High Point. I turn down deals all week long outside of those areas. Mr. Sippy says he's been using cold calling on steroids, and he's been getting 3 to 4 good appointments a week. Can you imagine you guys going up that? For me, if I went on 3 or 4 appointments a week, that's one deal a week. That would get us about $40,000 a month. So you guys need to get on that. My foreign, there's no culture barriers with my foreign callers because they sound and act just like they live in America and are sitting right in my office. It's great to pick the best ones and do that. Inbox me your buyer site too, please. Would like to see it. All right, guys. So if you guys don't have any more questions, I'm going to get off of here. I really appreciate everybody tuning in. I really want to add some value. I want to do this once a week consistently. If you guys have questions, feel free to answer them. Now, the reason why I do this is because it's easier for me to answer questions on this platform versus just DMing everybody one-on-one in my inbox and saying the same answer over and over again. It's good for people to hear it. I record this. I also put it on Facebook. I also put it on YouTube so that you guys can watch it back later. Any recent deals you can tell us about. So I'll tell you about a recent deal that was pretty tricky. There was a property that was on the tax delinquent auction block. So there's usually about 20 to 30 days when the city posts that this property is going up to auction. What happens is I then skip trace the actual properties that are going up for auction, because if they're going to lose them via the tax auction, they're not going to get anything anyways. So I skip traced the guy, looked for him, reached out to his sister because that's the only one I could find her on Facebook. Turns out he was in prison. So I talked to him in prison. His mom called me, said yes, he's ready to sell it. And what happened is the mom, my attorney had to draft paperwork for the mom to become the power of attorney to do this transaction. And I was running against the time that the city was going to take this property. So what ended up happening is we then sent the document to prison. I had a social worker notarize it in prison. We sent it back. Found a buyer like that in 24 hours. The property was sold. We made like $23,000. So it was a lot of work to get that property, but it was easy. And yeah, Mississippi just made $24,000. I don't know if you guys seen it on my story. And that was only 40% of a deal. And that was a lead that came into a wholesaler. He trusted a wholesaler to do the deal for him. He made 24 grand. That was 40% of a deal. 40% of a deal. He made $24,000. 15 minutes worth of work. Looks like I got a couple more. Will your VA help hire? Yes, if you're looking for a VA, email my executive staff assistant, which is Alexis at cashhomestriad.com. She will help you. She charges $150 to find your VA. She's good. Don't waste your time if you're not serious about getting a VA. I'm driving for dollars here in Raleigh. It's pretty tough. What do you think about Durham? Raleigh, Durham, all of it's blowing up right now. Durham is crazy with the tech market. Maybe do a video. Matt says do a video on cold calling. Okay. What's the turnaround time for your VAs to help hire my VA? Norman, she's serious. If you're real serious about getting one, email her. She'll do it. She can get it in about a week or two. A very nice one. Are you willing to send your cold calling scripts to both cold calling leads? Yes. Kevin Kern, email me, max@therealmaxwell.com. Yes, the app is being tested right now. Just waiting for a few more things, and then we're going to get approval, and it's going to launch. Yep, already paid for it, so it's done. Subject to deal is basically when you buy somebody's house subject to the existing financing. That's pretty much it. The mortgage is going to stay in place. You're going to pay the mortgage for them, and that's what subject to means. But you can YouTube that and get a much better answer than I just gave you. Have you ever flown out to a wholesale deal? I thought about doing it just for the venture. No, but I have gotten in my plane and flew over South Carolina to see a piece of land that a guy was offering for sale. I didn't end up buying it. Yeah, Connor, I'm thinking of having a dedicated day, but here's the truth, man. I would love to set it like every Monday or Tuesday at a certain time, but I'm just out here enjoying life sometimes. What's Mr. Sippy's social link? His follow him on Instagram at Mr. MISTERSIPPI. So it's Mr. Sippy, S-I-P-P-I, Mr. Sippy. I'm having big trouble finding the owners. So the tax data is going to have who the owner is, and then you just want to skip trace that person. Cool. All right, guys, I think my time is up here. I'm getting off. Me and my buddies were planning something real cool for the New Year's. It's gonna be dope. I really want you guys to tune in. We're calling ourselves the Big Three. So myself, Mr. Sippy, and the Big Sip Real Estate. What we're gonna do is we're gonna pick one person, and we're gonna fly to the area and find them a deal in 72 hours. Somebody says, when is the Huracan coming? The Huracan is coming. I'm buying a Lamborghini, guys. Yep. Yeah, I'm James. I wish I was James Harden. No, I just wish I had James Harden money. All right, guys. So I'm out of here. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. It's The Real Maxwell. Please subscribe to my YouTube page. Don't forget, if you want daily advice, head over to my Facebook group. It's called Wholesaling Houses Elite. You can also find me in another group called The Real Estate Roundup. I know that's a lot. Follow me on Instagram, The Real Maxwell, and all of it starts there. Subscribe to my YouTube. I plan on doing this every week. Don't be afraid to reach out to me. DM me on Instagram, and you can also send me an email at max@therealmaxwell.com. I really appreciate you guys tuning in every week. I will see you next week. Have a good week. Keep kicking ass, and reach out to me if you have any questions. In the meantime, see you guys later.